I'm a New Zealander who lives in the East Riding of Yorkshire, where I design knitting and sewing patterns. You can find me on Instagram as Louleigh_, and on Ravelry as Louleigh, and you can find links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. Hi, it is so nice to be sitting down having a chat with you for a while. I'm not sure how long it's been a time. And in that time I have almost finished lots and lots, well, quite a few pairs of socks. They need ends weaving in. So I thought that this week I would just set up my camera in the corner of my desk here, and as I have a few moments during the week I shall catch you up on all of the things that I've been doing. So I am just darning in the ends of this pair of socks. They aren't particularly exciting, it's just a pair of plain vanilla socks, and I used my favourite sock pattern, which is available on Ravelry. Yeah, so I just used that standard pattern. These particular socks are for my housemate, who has been angling for a pair of hand knitted socks since I moved in. And of course, during lockdown, a lot of the normal sort of services that one might need weren't available. And so my housemate volunteered himself to change the oil in my lawnmower and give it a service, which I thought was really kind until he said he would do it in return for a pair of socks. So yeah, no such thing as a free lunch. Anyway, just darned in the last end, and one of the kind of, I guess it's not really that big of a problem, but I would usually block a pair of socks before I give them to someone, and I have a vast collection. Well, not vast, I've got quite a few pairs of sock blockers, but they're all in storage at the moment, and so I feel like I've got some socks that I'm going to gift to people, and I just can't finish them. These ones that are in payment for services, I feel like I just can't finish them quite as nicely as I normally would. Perhaps I should press them with the iron, or I could just fold them up neatly and put a tag on them. Anyway, so I've used for these West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, and I think this colour is called Mallard. No, this colour's called Mallard. I think this is Petrol. I've got the label over here somewhere. Probably just numbers on though. They give things names and then don't print the... No, Juniper. Juniper, no. Perhaps this has the wrong tag on it. That doesn't look like Juniper. Maybe it is. Stand by, I'll look it up. What happens when you don't do show notes. So this is the Juniper colourway. Probably looking a little bluer than it is there. I would call it teal, dark teal or petrol. Then I did the main part of the sock in the Mallard colourway. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way they have come out. And he tried on the first one the other day and it fits quite well. So yeah, those are all ready and finished to give to him. Hi, I've just had my dinner. I've come back upstairs to my room and I'm going to finish these socks. Just got some ends to weave in and then they'll be all done. So these socks are a pair of made to measure socks for the hairy man, and I used the information from Lara Neal's book, which I've forgotten the name of just now, but I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, so I took all of his foot measurements and made him these socks. I actually have hairy man sock blockers as well, but they're in storage, so I think I'll just be folding these neatly. There we go. Size 11. And for this one I used, the main colour is a trekking yarn, trekking double XL. Yeah, I think I got that in, is it Get Knitted or Knit Happens in Bristol. Mum and I were coming back from a holiday in Wales and we stopped off at that shop. I'm not sure if it's still open. I think it might have been one of those shops of yesteryear. I remember it was really cool because it had a lot of American yarns there. And then for the solid I used the Opal Uniball, can't see the petrol, I think it's called Opal Uniball. Let's have a look. Clearly I like this colour. No, I can't see it, just says Opal 4-ply. Yeah. So I've just used an Eye of Partridge heel there, and for the hairy man I put in some calf shaping, and then I've just done a normal rounded toe there. So that is today's pair of socks. So I realised when I spoke to you yesterday about these socks that I had made an error. I said that I had used Lara Neal's book, which was Sock Architecture, in the construction of these socks, when in fact I used Kate Atherley's custom socks methodology. This is what happens when you don't write your show notes down and do it from memory. So yeah, so that's where I got all the fit information for these socks. I thought I would pop in today though and show you my finished Georgetown cardigan, which I am wearing, and the weather has gone a bit cool here, so I've been wearing it quite a bit. I really like this cardigan. So this is Georgetown by Hannah Fettig. Let me just find the label for the yarn. It's just down. So this is the Hannah Fettig cardigan. Georgetown is the pattern, and I used this Southlander DK yarn in the Foxy Red colourway, and I like this yarn for a reasonably priced, you know, sort of, well, local yarn. It's a New Zealand yarn that I bought in New Zealand. I've been wearing it since the weather cooled down. I've been wearing it a little bit, not loads, but I don't know if you can see the nature of the pilliness just there. It's not too bad. It's not like a fine merino or anything. I can feel the prickle, but that doesn't bother me. It's an over top of other stuff garment, but I can feel it is a bit prickly just across the back here. But as I say, that's not a showstopper for me. I've got a tickle in my throat, it keeps coming back. And oh, I got a little brooch. This is one of my virtual Wonderwall purchases. Well, this is my virtual Wonderwall purchase, this little brooch that I got specifically to go on this cardigan. I was given a lovely brooch when I went, last time I went to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, from is the Camabornia logo, and I just keep it permanently attached to one of my cardigans because it looks so nice. I'm not the sort of person that usually accessorizes a lot, but apparently if I buy something that goes with something and just leave it on with something, then I wear them. So yeah, does that even make sense? Anyway, so this little brooch came from Oakley Stonehenge Ceramics, and the first and last time I went to Wonderwall, I bought a button from these same people, just a single, one of those big sort of statement buttons, and that is still in my button box in storage somewhere. So yeah, but that was just a really nice thing to buy to put on my cardigan. The other thing I like about this is it is quite structured and tailored looking, and so it's something that I would wear to work when we're allowed to go back to work. That would be nice. Anyway, I'm going to stand up and do a little twirl so that you can go, ooh, and ah, that looks lovely. At least I hope you do, because I think it looks, I'm really pleased with it. So here we go. I can totally see why people knit two of these. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is the Advent mini-skein swap, because if you have been involved in that and you checked the thread and you've been watching my rather intermittent podcast, you'll know that I had postponed quarter 2 of the Advent mini-skein swap until the end of May, when we could see how the whole COVID situation was going to look, and yeah, maybe. Yeah, and as it transpires, not so many people around the world are in lockdown and in quarantine. We still are, although it's loosened up a bit, but people just have better access to their post offices and things. So, if you would like to join in quarter 2 of the Advent mini-skein swap, then please pop over to the quarter 2 thread and sign up. If you have already joined, I'm going to get back in touch with you and ask you if you still want to participate, or you can go and edit your thread and let me know if you want to participate, because it has been a little while since you joined up, and I just want to make sure that you're still in that place where you feel like you can do it. So that swap will close, and I will pair everybody up at the end of June. That took a little bit of thinking about. This is why I should write show notes. Yeah, so at the end of June I will get in touch with everybody with their swap buddies, and we can go forward with quarter 2. Then I'm going to move forward quarter 3 to the end of August, and then we can do quarter 4 at the end of October. So we will be all ready for Christmas or Hanukkah, or just having a winter solstice batch of mini skeins to do something with. Or, as I've said before, every time I talk about this, you don't have to be saving them up for anything special. You could just be swapping mini skeins to use in a blanket project or something that you have going along. Anyway, if you want to join in quarter 2 of the Advent mini skein swap and swap 6 10-gram mini skeins with somebody else, then please pop over to the thread in the Louleigh Ravelry group and check out all of the details there. Hi, so what I didn't tell you is that I've actually been making segments for this podcast for quite some time. I've been starting the podcast at the beginning of a week, and usually I just like to do a few segments throughout the week and then put them together into a podcast and get it out. But things happen, and then I take a little break and feel like I should start it again, and that's exactly what happened this time, as I've been talking to you about my sock projects. And so I thought, about starting again. That's my phone, I'm so sorry. Let me switch that off. That's better. Yeah, so I thought about starting again, and then I thought, actually, I just have one more pair of socks that I'm so excited to tell you about, and I'm not even going to tell you all about them. So that probably sounds a bit mysterious. I have been missing this sock. It's a DK weight sock, and this sock is part of my next pattern collection, which I'm really excited about. This has been a long time in the making, this collection, and it's all tech edited, and it's been test knitted by some of you lovely people, and then it got put on the back burner for a very long time. So this is going to be my socks from the Allotment collection, and it's going to be 3 pairs of socks that were inspired by the Allotment. And I had just thought I would do something fancy. I might release it as a club, but as you can tell, life is kind of unpredictable. So what I've decided to do is to just crack on, knit the samples, get them photographed, get the collection all together, and then put it out as one. So I'm just teasing you right now. But so this is the first pair of socks, which is done in a DK weight, which is excellent for putting inside your wellies at the Allotment, and it has a really nice lace pattern that I invented up the front, which I'm really proud of. Yeah, and I am using a lovely yarn by Eden Cottage, and it's the Boland DK in Faded Bloom. So those are the last pair of socks I'm going to tell you about in this sock heavy episode. I have a feeling that this is going to be a summer of sock knitting because I still have other sock projects to finish. I have a pattern collection to get out, and so yeah, if you fancy a summer of socks knit along that would culminate in the release of my new collection, whenever that is. I'm not going to make any promises about dates and stuff because life is not like that right now. Yeah, if you fancy joining me in a summer of sock knitting, let me know in the episode thread and I'll set up a knit along for it. You can knit whatever socks you want. Yeah. So it has been really nice to sit down and speak with you and share a little bit of time. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. Please, if you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and come and join us in the Ravelry group. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Cheerio!